heard that it takes money to make money? Well, you're in luck, because in today's video, we're going to share with you the best free tools to use for your small business. I'm LizJSimpson, founder of the Big Money Movement, accompanied by
Cheryl Parks
and Heather Petherick,
our esteemed goats, the coaches behind the Big Money Movement. And we're going to talk about some free tools available to you right now to take your small business to the next level. Cheryl, you want to kick it off?
The first one is the easiest one. It's your mouth. Be talking to every and anyone you can about what your mission, your vision, your plans, what are you doing? Put it out in the universe, as a matter of fact, just from that perspective. But you want to definitely have a structured message, one that aligns with what you're doing so there's no confusion. But your mouth is literally one of the tools that you can use that is free and that you can create impact with.
Yeah.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Like, when I think of the Big Money Movement and why we launched this movement, we help women entrepreneurs take their expertise and land 5- and 6-figure corporate clients. What I think is so special about the work that we do is they don't have to have a funnel. They don't have to get ready. It's like the very things that you were doing in your day-to-day of corporate America, those skill sets, you can now take that intellectual property or expertise and have conversations and land corporate clients. Like, it is one of the best business models I feel that exists, especially when we talk about like access to capital and the challenges that women face. So I just had to say that, like, your mouth right there.
Yes.
That could be, helping
Number
you land
one asset.
Yes.
Right.
Number one.
Heather, what do you think?
I'm going to add to that because we've talked a few times how cash is in the conversation.
Ooh.
It's just having conversations.
Yes.
That's how a business is. That's where it grows from. So my second favorite free tool, it's this little thing right here. You're using your mouth with it all the time. Like, how many contacts, a lifetime of contacts in the palm of your hand.
Yes.
To use your mouth, have conversations, talk about your mission, talk about why you're doing it. It's one of my favorite free tools. And we're carrying it around every day.
Listen.
Like, all of our waking hours.
It's so many tools in one, right? Like, when you think of all the things you had to have, and now it's like, oh, my calculator is in here, and my Rolodex is in here.
That's right.
Just all these things. I love it.
Excellent.
One of my favorite free tools, one thing that I'm always talking about is LinkedIn.
Of course. That's also
LinkedIn.
in your phone.
Yes, and it is. It's a free app
yes.
on your phone, right? And so when I think of access to executive buyers, and we talk so much about what the barriers were to proximity to executive buyers in the past, and now we're in this day and age, it blows my mind still. We're in this day and age where you can literally search who are VPs, who are directors, who's in the C-suite for these companies, and then you literally can build connection with them on a free tool. And like, that's mind-blowing to me, because we get to learn how to get through gatekeepers and find their contact information. Or you might have had limitations because maybe you lived in one area. And
Door to door.
Oh my gosh.
Like, no.
So LinkedIn is an amazing free tool that not only gives you proximity to your buyers, but you can also position yourself as the go-to thought leader.
Oh, you can educate your buyers so well, build your brand all there without ever having to reach out. So they come to you primed, ready, educated, and in some ways ready to buy.
Yes, ma'am. Those are the
so
best. Those are the best. All right. So we talked about, we have your mouth, your phone, and LinkedIn. Let's talk about the fourth one, existing network. What do y'all want to say when it comes to activating, nurturing, and leveraging your existing network?
I want to start by saying, I think we don't give ourselves enough credit for the relationships and the quality of contacts we currently have. I think we dismiss and overlook that far too often. How many times have we talked to members in the Big Money Movement about some of the lowest hanging fruit? People you've been in business with sometimes a decade ago that you have their know, like, trust factor. And to phone them and say, look, I'm moving in this new direction. And they're already your cheerleaders, your supporters, because of the nurturing and the relationship building you've done for sometimes decades. Huge asset.
I agree. I think there's gold mines in everyone's network. Like, one of the things we talk about is, like, you have a 6-figure deal in your network right now.
You don't even know it.
Go mine it.
Go find it. Go find that.
Yes. Go activate that.
Yes,
What are your thoughts,
yes.
Cheryl, on that?
So there are actually a couple of members that come to light for me. One of them I'll call Julia. And just as you were speaking to that, I was thinking about this member who has what I would call like a VIP level program. I'm going to call it a program that she's outlined for executive leaders that can connect in a safe space and all of these things. And again, she went to her existing network
Yes.
and started talking to them.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Understand
about.
what they needed.
Yes.
And they started to self-select and started to come in.
Yes.
And now she's more or less putting that framework together for them.
Yes.
Right. So I'm going to mention too that she didn't put the framework together and then go find them.
Yeah.
She talked about what it is, and now they're coming, and she'll have a framework as she goes.
Yes. And even if they aren't buyers, they are connected to a whole, like, what is the stat? That every individual has a whole nother roster of 500 people in their network.
Yeah.
That because of that one point of contact, you now have connections with. So even if the people in your network aren't your ideal buyer, do not fret.
Right.
Because each of them has a Rolodex of 500 other people that could be.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
100%. And I do love when you talk about, what did you call her, Julia?
Julia.
When you talk about Julia, I do love that people, because she had invested in these relationships and earned the know, like, and trust, as you said, when she talked to them about this project, they were asking her, how can I be a good steward of this?
Right.
How
How
do
can I
you
be your
want me?
cheerleader?
Yes!
Yes.
How do you want me to share
Who
the
can I
gospel?
introduce you to?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. That's so. I just think that, to your point, we underestimate that, and I also think, I don't know if you all think this is a thing, but for a lot of high achievers or women who have a lot of pride,
I think I know what you're going to say. We are afraid to ask.
yes,
Right?
yes,
But we got to ask, because there's such, like you said, gold mine.
Yeah.
The people who know, like, and trust us, we have poured into them in many ways for many years. And the opportunity for them to reciprocate with that support and connection making, it closes the loop and everybody wins.
Yes, I agree. This reminds me of actually the second woman to ever join the Big Money movement. I call her one of my A1 day ones. And I think we said we're going to call her Rosie.
Rosie.
Rosie? Do you want to talk about Rosie? Just like her story?
So what I thought was most unique about Rosie's story is Rosie joined, as you mentioned, early, and then she re-enrolled while she stayed at her corporate job, and she kept going through the training and attending and showing up and asking good questions and kind of honing what it is she wanted to do and speaking it into existence with her existing network. She had more or less built the framework or the platform for her now existing business after she retired from her corporate job.
Yes.
So in the process, she knew what her vision was, and she started early.
Yes.
So you can do it, come in and get it done. We have members that do that.
Yep.
Or you can come in understanding that you have a longer vision and you can move to that vision. We're here for all of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they're still using the same free tools, right? Their
Literally.
mouth,
Same free tools.
their contacts in their phone, their network, and
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
absolutely.
I think there's different seasons. Do y'all want to talk about seasons and how these tools roll into the season of where you are in business?
So I want to come back to the whole, using your existing network, right? And your mouth to talk about your vision and what you are creating. I think there's a big resistance because so often what creates our reputation, that know, like, and trust factor, is we are consistently making deposits in other people's businesses and lives, right?
Yeah.
That's what builds that integrity and that brand that people know, like, and trust us for.
Right.
But because we've built our success really rooted in that planting of seeds habit, sometimes it's a really hard shift into asking.
Yeah.
You know, reaping or harvesting from that.
Yeah.
It's not a natural position for a lot of women, and particularly for the women that we serve that are high achievers, that are always giving and contributing. But it actually is a gift to our network when we can ask, because as I said, it closes the loop and it bonds people together when there's a reciprocity. When they recognize how much that you have given and profited them in their life, and then they have an opportunity to give back. I've always been humbled and surprised when I've had the courage to ask people in my network, and these are top tier people, for their advice or connections. how enthusiastic they are.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they're grateful that I've given them that opportunity to give back.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say that because I know it's a thing.
Yeah.
And it's different seasons that we need to shift in. What would you contribute?
I liked your point about the energy. Literally, that energy that just comes around, and understanding that no, they're not sitting there waiting for you to ask.
No.
But if you ask, they typically are more than happy
Yeah.
to offer their services on some level.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It makes me think of on a spiritual level, a just really impactful conversation or point in my life. I am someone who really struggles to ask. My thing is rejection, right? Like there's this deep-seated fear. And I'll never forget my pastor at the time. People were offering me things and I wasn't asking for what I needed. And he said something to me. He said, when you don't allow me the opportunity to do for you, or, to return the favor, you block my blessings.
Right.
Yes.
Right? And like
So
you're so
true.
busy trying to control.
Do it all.
Yes.
Make it look good.
And I don't think, I think one of the best feelings in life is the ability to give. And we have to love our people and our network and value our relationships enough for people to make deposits into
Yeah.
us.
Right.
And so
Yes.
these free tools, I love that we're underscoring, they're beneficial when you lead with value.
Yeah.
And then you have a network of people who want to return that same value to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It does take vulnerability, though, to
Oof.
receive. And I think
It
that's
does.
where we have some challenges.
Yeah.
Because, we've created a measure of success in our corporate career because we're doing all the things, and doing it really well, and we're not so used to receiving or showing vulnerability, which is that ask. Yeah.
And the beautiful thing with them being free tools is you can practice these skill sets without having to make monetary investments.
Yeah.
And these are the skill sets that can take you and grow your business before you make hard investments into the business.
Yeah.
That being said, now that you know that there are free tools that you can leverage, let's talk about how to develop those skill sets to get corporate clients. Click the next video where we're going to share how to get corporate clients for your business. This is LizJSimpson, Cheryl and Heather from the Big Money Movement signing off. Bye.